Yeah, but it was the standard things. First of all, big push for scope creep. So there was the chief of marketing who said, let's get the exact minimum thing. He delegated it to one of his lieutenants who was notorious for wanting the world. And so there was a lot of consternation of his lieutenant, as the business unit would say, no, we need everything. Okay, that seems like not the minimum. And then we would, we had a biweekly executive steering committee meeting, run down all the things that he said he needed, and his boss would say, that's insane. Why did you, and it also came back to me, Rob, why did you let him push this far? And I'm like, well, I didn't. I waited till this meeting. I've been trying to tell you, he's pushing forward. So you had standard scope creep and a lot of consternation with that, and a little bit of, in Hybris, while you could configure, once again, this was a complex configuration. One of the things that probably was a little bit of a delay, I would almost call it a CPQ data architect type of understanding of, say, where I actually, said, hey, and by the way, the company that was installing it is called Zaylab. And they had a bit of a delay of truly understanding, okay, here's how we're going to, I'm thinking almost in BI terms, so forgive me here, but this is how I look at it. It's like, here's how we're going to slice and dice, and here's the different dimensions and options. They had a bit of delay of getting that into a good and final model. And it was funny because I started researching how the Hybris database worked, and it was actually, it's a very kind of proprietary object-oriented database. It's a little bit different.
Right.
So they had because it was so open and flexible, there was a bit of a delay because of that too.
What was the implementation firm?
It's called Zaylab, Z-A-E-L-A-B.
Okay,
got it.
Okay, I want to ask one more question if I can. So
sure.
I do want to move back. I do want to move back to the process in a minute. But here's my question to you. So you went down this path, and correct me if I'm wrong. Again, I joined a few minutes late, but you looked at CloudCraze, Hybris, and SteelBrick, right? Do I have that right?
Yeah.
Those were the three vendors you looked at.
Yes. But we also looked at. I mean, we also looked from the ground up. We also looked at just Magento.
Build.
Just doing it all the way from the ground up. Yeah.
Right. Okay. And then build, like you were looking at build versus buy.
Yeah, and this thing called Unilog, which I can't remember. I can't even remember that one. So. Okay.
Okay. So my question to you is this: if you were to do this again, knowing what you know now, going through that process, do you feel that Hybris was the right solution for this initiative?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I still have to check in again. This was one of the hardest selections that I had to make because if I get it wasn't. They were stronger in different areas. Hybris had a lot more flexibility, especially even flexibility in look and feel, and it actually had a little bit easier integration and connectivity to our back end. And it wasn't even there was no thought, hey, because Hybris is SAP, I want to keep it with SAP. It just, as we were mapping it to the back end, it was mapping a little bit better. On the other hand, everything that you had, being a true cloud, the multi-tenant true cloud, solution, things being structured, just a lot more rigid, and also being, your whole infrastructure being taken care of for you, was very appealing for Salesforce. So it was very, very tough. But here's the reason why I would say Hybris was, again, our biggest problem was a lot of debate and arguments and feeling the need to get it right and being flexible of how we wanted to configure the different configuration options. And I remember back, I could be wrong and things might have evolved, but I remember there wasn't as much flexibility on the SteelBrick side.
Right. And so